Hi, wrestling fans, and welcome to a special midweek post-Memorial Day edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined by Hall of Famers Brian and Reagan Danzig and Commissioner Rick Diesel, as always. All of us in the Hall of Fame. We're your Hall of Fame panel, and so good to have you with us. Not to brag, but I did say when I got into the Hall of Fame, you'll never hear the end of this. I mean to live up to those words. So, great. How was everybody's Memorial Day weekend?
Fine. I hit a raccoon coming back from Ivanhoe and destroyed the front of my car.
That's that curse.
I got cursed. I was 20 minutes from my home and a raccoon exploded under my tire.
That sounds more like a rural hall curse. Or
if we tried to outrun it, but it caught us. It caught up with us.
That must have been a hell of a raccoon. I mean, you know.
It did. It effed up my car. Like, we were pulling parts out of my car for the next 2 days. Finally, we were just driving down the road and part of it fell off, and then we duct taped it. So
it's still running.
It's still running, and it's fine, but it was disturbed. I've never hit a raccoon.
I haven't either. Plenty of squirrels and a dog once, but never a raccoon.
I have never hit anything that messed up my car more. Even when I hit that deer coming back from Sparta one night, I didn't have as much of a problem as I did hitting that raccoon.
I hit a deer with a work van one time, and I was pulling meat out of the wheel well for a week.
Well, this one was obliterated. I heard it, and it was I could tell from the sound that poor animal was obliterated, like a nuclear bomb had hit it.
At least it was fast. At least the poor thing didn't suffer.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
No, it didn't suffer at all from the sound. So I was disturbed. But other than that, good weekend.
We believe we started off with a raccoon being obliterated and talking about our different instances of roadkill, what we've managed to hit over the years, animals out in the wilds of Virginia and North Carolina. My goodness. But anyway, folks, we're coming to you midweek because we want to talk about extreme content, which is coming up this weekend, this Saturday night, as a matter of fact. Let me see here. I need to get that off the screen here. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's take a look at the card here. And I'm going to use the thing right off of our Facebook clip or our Facebook page, and let me know if you can see it.
There it is.
Yes.
Yes. Right. Beautiful.
This is our beautiful poster for Fright Night. This Saturday, tickets are $10 for the floor, $7 for the bleachers. The doors open at 6 o'clock. Bell time is at 7. Look at this lineup. In the main event, Justin Flash defends the Mid Atlantic Heavyweight Championship against Savage Kincaid.
Jesus. And he just got that belt back, too.
I know it. I'm not looking forward to this for old Justin. This is going to be a tough road to hoe. Savage Kincaid has not lost since he came to the Mid Atlantic, and last time we saw him, I think he beat up 2 men. So
yeah. I almost feel like, I don't know if this is going to be Justin Flash's the hardest defense he's ever had. I mean, he has went through Jack and just some really, really big Corey Edsel. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just Flash has just had one of the worst runs, as far as just big, savage, mean opponents.
Yeah, he's managed to hold on to that title, though.
Yeah, that's the thing about holding the heavyweight title. There, at least in the AIWF, there is no super heavyweight division, so it's heavyweight and up. So Justin Flash, he's definitely not a lightweight anymore, but he's on that lower end of the heavyweight scale. So he's going to have to face guys that are, probably outweigh him by 50, sometimes 100 pounds.
And this is one of these, Savage Kincaid, like I've said it in the past, like, how do you prepare for somebody like Savage Kincaid? Like, you can sit down and you can watch Corey Edsel matches. You can sit down and you can watch Jack matches. You can sit down and just watch matches to take notes, to see what they do. But you have someone who is just, like he says, savage. He just goes in and he just destroys. There's no, the only thing you can prepare yourself is that you're not going to know what's going on. Like, that's the only way you can prepare yourself.
Yep.
The only advice I would give Justin Flash is try to make the match last long enough for Savage Kincaid to get distracted by the referee. And maybe he'd chase him out and get counted out.
Then we need a meaty referee that night then.
Yeah.
To not
Maybe spread a little barbecue sauce on him for the match.
Yeah. It was like that time Jimmy Garvin had to wrestle that bear when he was a rookie, and one of the older guys in the dressing room, as he was getting ready to go out and wrestle the bear, took his palm and slapped Jimmy Garvin right between the bunghole and the balls, the gooch, right, and it had honey on it. And Jimmy Garvin was on the way out the curtain. He couldn't turn around, or they would have kicked his butt, you know. And he said when he got about 5 feet away from the cage, he said that bear looked up and smelled that honey, and that was not a pleasant experience for him.
No.
So maybe Flash could try something like that.
Well, the one thing about Justin Flash now is this isn't something, since he's had to go up against Jack and Corey, we're seeing a different Justin Flash. And last Saturday in Ivanhoe, his opponent left with a handprint, so I bet you could get fingerprints off of it. So this is a different Justin Flash also. So
we'll see.
Well, maybe the Jack and Corey matches, I mean, maybe they prepared him for whatever Savage Kincaid can throw at him. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. I like mix-ups like this where you can't really say one way or another, you know, with certainty what's going to happen. You got two very different styles, which I always enjoy watching, and so I'm really excited to see where this one goes.
We'll find out, and you can find out with us, folks, Saturday night, Veterans Park in Mount Airy, bell time 7 p.m. Also on the card that night, this is a very interesting match. JT Moss won the opportunity to challenge Mickey Fulp for the Mid Atlantic Television Championship, but I see here on the poster, special stipulation to be announced the night of the show. And if I know Seth Clayton Burns, that is probably not good news for JT Moss.
This is 2 in a row that Mickey Fulp has walked into a match and with uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, when he was facing Justin Flash at the last Mount Airy show, and they didn't know which title was on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's walking in and he don't even know what stipulation could be. It could be, you know, drag your opponent behind a motorcycle. Who knows?
That'd be another wrestling first, wouldn't it? Drag your opponent behind. I mean, the Undertaker did it to Hulk Hogan, but that wasn't a stipulation in a match. He just did that, you know.
But Mickey's been on a roll. You know, I hope JT Moss is ready to not only take on Mickey Fulp, but to take on Seth Clayton Burns, Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises. Like, Mickey does not come alone anymore.
Mm-mm.
So, and I know JT Moss, I mean, he doesn't come alone either. So it's bad blood between both of these groups of people. Like, and it's been bad blood for a long time now.
Yeah, and I'm sure JT Moss would not only like to win that title in and of itself, just to have the title, but it would just be icing on the cake to take it from Mickey Fulp.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we'll see what happens in this one, man. This is going to be good. JT Moss is a big man, but Mickey Fulp, like you guys are saying, he's laser focused right now. He's definitely in championship form. He's in a good place mentally. I mean, you may not like that he breaks the rules and stuff, but it seems to be working for him. And so he is definitely red hot right now. As I said last week, if I've got to buy or sell stock in Mickey Fulp, I'm buying right now. So we'll see how it goes. But JT Moss is no slouch either. So this is definitely going to be a hard hitting match. I can't wait to see what happens. Let's see, moving on. Oh, here's an interesting one. Pretty Boy Lane, Jason Kane against Todd Tyson and Joe Harrison. Now, is this a tag team toolbox match, or is this just?
It seems to be. Yeah.
Tag team, yes.
I'm assuming it's tornado rules. Everybody in the ring at the same time.
Be good
I
for a
would
toolbox
assume
match.
Ty Tyson, Joe Harris. This is another couple of Seth Clayton Burns guys. Seth Clayton Burns into everything. He's just a thorn in everybody's side right now.
He really is.
He's like a goddamn chlamydia in a cat house.
It's just everywhere.
Just irritates everybody.
So that is an analogy that I didn't not think he would hear. So if you had chlamydia in our game, drink now.
Drink now.
So a tag team toolbox match. I don't know that I've ever seen a tag team toolbox match. Usually you throw 4 or 5 guys in there and it's a free for all. Last year we had a 1-on-1, if I remember correctly, toolbox match. It turned out to be great. So I'm pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting twist on this match. I would say I would give the advantage of this to Ty and Joe, because they both have had more experience in these types of matches. Ty, I'm sure, has been in an actual toolbox match before. I'm not sure about Joe Harrison, but he's been in those, type of hardcore matches. I don't know how much experience Pretty Boy Lane and Case and Kane have had in these type of matches, but I think Ty and Joe have definitely had more experience. However, with the factor of Seth Clayton Burns and Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises backing them up, then this could go either way.
It makes me also wonder, Joe Harrison has been a man on his own ever since Mickey Fulp laid him out, and was that last year it deal with the steel? I think
he attacked him before that. That's when they lost the tag team title.
Yeah. So Joe Harrison's been, doing things on his own. And Ty has stepped up to help Joe, but then you wonder sometimes, if you are a lone wolf for so long, are you going to have little problems working with a tag partner, especially someone that you've not really tagged with before? See if that makes a difference. I mean, Case and Pretty Boy Lane have been pretty tight for a very long time now. So they're an actually established tag team. Is that going to make a difference? Even though this is a toolbox match, I mean, is it going to make a difference that Pretty Boy Lane and Case and Kane have worked together and Joe Harrison and Ty Tyson have not?
Well, I think the fact that it's not a normal tag team match, is tornado rules, I think will kind of, they'll probably have a little bit more of an advantage just being able to flow better just as a team, knowing what the other is thinking. But the fact that it's not a normal tag match will be the advantage for Ty and Joe. Also, I'm curious about the health of Joe Harrison. For the past few weeks after the attack from Seth Clayton Burns Enterprises, he's had those ribs heavily taped and bandaged. So I'm wondering if he's fully recovered from that, and that's definitely going to be a factor in this match too.
Yeah, I agree. The advantage I see with Ty and Joe is, like I said, it's not a normal tag match. It's almost like 2 singles matches going on at the same time. Everybody's just pick sides.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you are kind of working alone, but helps there if you need it.
Yep. That'll be very interesting. And don't ever slack on Joe Harrison. He's a Myrtle Beach guy, which means he's a salty bastard. And I don't say that lightly. If people that live in Myrtle Beach are a little bit meaner than most, because they get abused by tourists all year long. And so they get to be pretty salty and pretty mean. So this is right up his alley. It's right up Ty's alley. I mean, it's going to be brutal, I have a feeling, guys. So definitely looking to see what happens there. All right. Now, here's the one that's got my interest, because we are combining the Money in the Piggy Bank ladder match with basically a sure shot rumble, right? So, Rick Diesel, if you want to break down the rules slowly for our fans, but mostly for me because it's kind of complicated.
Well, the best I can tell, the match starts with, I think, two guys. And every 90 seconds, I think it is, another one enters the rings. Basically a Royal Rumble type match. Somebody comes in, you can get eliminated by pinfall or submission. Anywhere in or out of the ring, as long as you're, within the ring area. But then when it gets down to the final 5 participants, that's when the ladder can come into play. So the ladder is completely useless until it's down to 5 people. So not only do you have to fight to remain one of the final 5 in there, it's just, once that happens, it's the ladder comes in, and then the Money in the Piggy Bank ladder match actually starts. The ladder match part of the Money in Piggy Bank. It's a free for all, and then the ladder match when it gets down to the final 5.
So do we know the number of people entered in the, I'm not saying we got to say it now, but we will know at bell time how many people are entered, and we will know when when everybody's coming, or we're down to like the final 5.
Right.
We'll know that.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. But by the time the match starts, we'll know who all's in it. But we won't know who's coming out, what order, until they come out.
Right.
But we'll know how many's in it, so that, if there's 6 in it, then it's going to be pretty easy. If it's 12, then we got a problem.
Right. Yeah. I just, I'm like, somebody go give me the Iggy so I can tell the audience, hey, this is the final 5. The ladder is legal now. Here we go.
Right. Yeah.
I'll give you the big thumbs up.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'm looking forward to this now. This sounds like a lot of chaotic fun. And if you're sitting out there wondering, like, oh, what are these indie guys doing with all these gimmick matches on the show? Well, look at the name of the show. It's called Extreme Content. And so that's what it is. A bunch of gimmick matches. So anyway, well, the fans, smart marks know some of the terminology.
No, and I agree. Like, this is the show that has the most brutal matches on it of the year.
Yeah, if you're gonna gimmick something up, this be the one to do it on.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we almost had a guy die at the first one. So I mean, it's just it's got that reputation. I honestly,
Was it you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was his opponent. It was Brian's opponent. So yes, Brian Danzig almost killed a man. Albeit he was just trying to beat him. He was just trying to beat him in the match. I mean, it was not attempted murder. I mean, but it almost happened regardless. So this show has quite the reputation. I honestly thought that after the first one, we'd never have another one, but I'm glad it survived. Because
that was 99.
Yes.
Was that but that was not the arms barbed and barbed wire.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes our ideas are a little extreme.
Wait, if that was 99 and you thought we wasn't gonna have another one, I just realized, is this the 25th anniversary of this show?
It should be, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you need to.
That would have been nice on a poster.
Well,
dummy.
Look, you've been doing this for over 30 years. You're gonna forget. I mean, stuff like this is just.
Yeah, but you think I would have gimmicked it up?
Yeah, you think you'd get it, gimmick to gimmick show. This match makes me sad because as tough as Buddy Flowers and Metallica are, I think they're gonna get killed here just because of size. I mean, Corey Etzel's a wily veteran. I know Mecha Mercenary's kind of new, but he can just crush people. I wish THC the best, the higher calling, but this kind of worries me. Go ahead.
It has been nice knowing them. They're good guys.
I don't know.
I'm going to miss them.
Well, normally I would say the same thing. However, Buddy Flowers had a really good showing against Corey Etzel at the last time they had their matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were several times in that match where I thought he was actually going to beat Corey Etzel. Now, Corey Etzel may have gone into that matchup not really taking it seriously because he outweighed his opponent so much. but may not make that same mistake again. But it's like I've always said, anybody can beat any opponent can beat you.
Mhm.
It's sometimes you can beat yourself by just making a mistake, not taking your opponent seriously. So I think it'll be interesting. I'm if I'm a betting man, I would probably put my money on Mecca and Corey as well. However, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see THC come out the winner of this matchup.
Yeah.
Well,
Anybody want to go
feel
on
like-
FanDuel and see what the odds are on this one?
I
Go ahead,
feel
Rick.
like if Buddy and Metallica, if they can use their speed to keep Corey Edsel in the ring as much as possible, that I think that's the strategy they need to go with. And that's nothing against Corey Edsel. He's just so much lighter than Mecca.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I mean, and if there's either one of them that you can, because once Mecca gets hold of you, what do?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Corey can probably break you in many ways, but Mecca don't even have to break a sweat to.
Mhm.
So I think the only chance they got would be to concentrate on Corey. But then again, there's a lot of experience in Corey Edsel.
Yep. Corey's definitely the wily veteran of the pair. So
Yeah.
we'll
It's
see
just
what
they
happens.
got to keep on them. They cannot let them breathe. They got to stay on them, and they got to make quick tags, and they got to keep them, and they just got to keep on them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, because Buddy Flowers is such a professional, and I am not even joking. He sent me a video because he didn't know we weren't going to air last Sunday. He sent me a video that I had not even watched yet because I wanted to watch it with you guys. And you should be able to see it down here in the corner. I'm going to try to pull it up and play it without blowing your eardrums out. So just give me a second here. Yeah, I've got it on mute. All right. So let me rewind it to the beginning. Stop. Pause. See, it won't let me adjust the volume. Well, I guess.
I got that chicken on.
That's fine.
All right, here we go. All right.
What's my?
I love that hat.
I just dropped the kids off the pool. Huh? I got that chicken on. It'll be done in a couple hours.
I'm hungry.
Share.
I'm starving.
Yeah, I'm not
Real starving.
He said something about a letter.
Dude,
I don't know.
get a
There
load
it
of
is.
this crap.
Yeah.
Sending me
What you
bait
got?
mail to my house, bro. Buddy Flowers sucks on flash drives. You can't beat me again. P.S. I'm not a loser. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. It's an oxymoron.
So,
Who said that?
Corey Edsel.
well, he spells better than I thought he could.
It's actually pretty legible. I think him and his therapist have been working on his
I can
letter.
read it.
You know, he has to write there. so-
Flash drive?
I don't know what his obsession. He was doing it at the show, telling us get the flash drive out.
Flash drives.
What are you talking about, dude?
You don't smoke flash drives.
We beat him
smokes flash
one
drives.
time, loses one time to us, and he just can't send hate mail to
Fair
my.
and
How did he even
square.
get my address? That's kind of concerning.
That's
a guy
creepy.
like Corey knowing where I live,
He probably got Mecca to compute it for him.
it doesn't matter.
Robot
He
man.
is a robot.
It's cool. We'll discard Corey's letter.
He smokes the robots.
Yeah.
We're gonna smoke the mecha robot
Yeah.
and Corey's brain like a robot because June 1st, me and you, dude, before that piggy bank match, we're gonna take him out. And once we beat him again, was it you can't beat me again and again? Like, come on, you gonna send me another letter, dude?
They
Like,
will have to beat all three of them
might.
again.
you know what? If that's what it takes, if we beat them again and then they want to come at the three of us, there's three of them, we'll handle that then.
I like beating
right.
people.
But as of here, as of now, me and you, dude, we're gonna put in the work. Mecca and Corey, it's peace up and peace out, dude.
Kind of said it all.
Yeah.
That was an interesting promo.
Who's the third one?
Metallica,
No, they kept saying there's three of them.
JT Moss.
JT Moss.
No, they kept saying there's three on the other team.
Maybe
He said if
they
they come at us, there's three of them, there's three of us.
Maybe they're just extrapolating for the size of Mecca Mercenary.
Mecca, maybe.
or yeah. Well, I mean,
He
we
is
know
big
what
enough
Buddy
to be
Flowers'
two.
real theme song is, and it could be that reason too. I mean,
Yeah.
so
His synapse might not be synapping.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe it's-
mercy.
Yeah, they're coming into the matchup with confidence, and that's what
That's
something
good.
that you have to have. You have to go in with the game plan, but you have to have the confidence that you can execute it. And again, I think that matchup that Buddy Flowers had with Corey Etzel, I think that's going to help. I think yeah, I think he had a really good showing against him. So
And I liked Metallica's joke. I saw where he was trying to go with that. But if you, I shouldn't be giving comedy tips because I steal all my jokes. But the way I've heard it done before, and I'll give source credit. I'm not going to steal from no comedian, but like the way I've heard that done, like on Family Guy, is you say something like, oh, they're a tough group. I'm going to have to beat them off with both hands. Say something like that. That's that's the way he worked that in. That's all what they were trying to do there, and I liked it. So good for them, man. On subtle humor, I'm down with that. But good luck to him, man. But as you can see, fans, extreme content. The card is loaded, and Tease Treats will be there. All the big stars in the Mid Atlantic are going to be there. It was awesome seeing Clara Carter again last week, and something that's happened outside our federation, but I think is worth mentioning because she's competed here a couple of times, and she's a Virginia girl, which gives her, an extra boost in my mind. But Amanda Kiss won the that title that Clara used to hold down in Raleigh.
FWE.
I think it's FWE. Yeah. So congratulations, Amanda. You're doing good work, girl.
She's gaining some momentum. I see a lot about her now.
She's and what's striking about her is like just how big she is and how fast she can move. And and I'm not talking about like when I say big, you got to watch making comments like that around women. No offense, but first thing I'm gonna say, if she's a big girl, I'd be afraid that she'd think in her mind, is he saying I'm fat? No.
Big bone.
No, she's just tall and she looks like a wrestler and she can move. So I'm telling you, we may see big things from Amanda Kiss on down the line. So congratulations, lady. Also, saw Jada Stone appeared on a TNA show. Congratulations to her. Saw Malachi, Javon Evans was in the main event of NXT last night, wrestling along with Trick Williams. I have not seen the show yet. Somebody that I know it's a favorite of yours and you guys, Jordan Grace, appeared on NXT last night. I sure hope she doesn't get the big head now because I would hate for her to to go in a place and demand a nice table and have them say, ma'am, this is a PetSmart, the Cheesecake Factory's next door. But I stole that one off Bill Maher, just so you know. So but no, good for her. She's been around the indies a long damn time. And so, but some people were talking online today. Do you see a cross promotion or somebody asked Jim Cornette on his podcast, do you see TNA cross promoting with WWE? And he was like, well, why would they? And I mean, that's a pretty reasonable assessment, but I mean, they're having their women's champion coming on to NXT. So could we see, is TNA going to be moving into maybe a developmental filter for NXT? Like you go to TNA, then you move to NXT, and then if you're good enough, you move to the main roster.
Like OVW used to be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, and that's I mean, if that happens, that's a really good way to do it because TNA is very well established, and they've had a lot of really good wrestlers come out of TNA that, I mean, so it would be an interesting thing to see. I mean, they're letting her, I mean, she has her title. I mean, her title, she had it on her shoulder.
And she got up in Roxanne's face, who's the champion of NXT. So I hadn't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it after we get done here tonight. But I just thought it was really interesting because
Mhm.
I don't know where they're going with this, but obviously Triple H does not have the kind of hangups Vince did with, well, if we don't own it, I don't want to do any business with it. You know, I mean, he did business with ECW back in the 90s, but I mean, that changed in the 2000s.
Remember, it was TNH that used to show up at the Dragon Gate and the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla shows and hang out backstage and watch the talent. So he's done that before. He's went to those upper echelon indie shows and watched the talent, and you know, and I think he's even made an appearance on one or two of them. So
wow.
he has no problems that I see recognizing, you know, somebody for what they do. And right now, you'd be a moron not to know Jordan Grace is hot right now.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's not. I mean, she's the type of woman that Triple H likes to push. Muscular, good wrestlers like that's she really, except for her height because she's short. You know, she looks like the kind of women that Triple H likes to push. So
bodybuilders, he's always liked him bodybuilders.
I find China comparisons there, but yeah, I'm trying to think back through over the years.
Well, I mean, right now, Jade Cargill. I mean,
yeah, Jade Cargill,
Bianca Blair. I mean, technically, you know, she's pretty built.
Tiffany Stratton, she's a gymnast. Yeah, I'm trying to go through in my mind.
Natalia,
yeah. Natalia, man, is like, she looks the same as she did 10 years ago. She must really take care of herself. She don't eat any bread or any carbs or anything.
Yeah,
But,
so I would love to see a symbiotic relationship between the WWE and a I don't know what like a TNA level organization, you know, where they're as long as they're taking and giving and not just taking and taking and taking, you know, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them swallow up an organization, but I think if they work with them, it would be a great relationship, and it'd be a great way to get more talent and open up that talent pool.
Well, that, and if TNA, it's one of those things where if WWE starts pulling their talent from TNA, that's going to get TNA more attention.
Yep.
It's going to be like, oh, I could see the next superstar the next WWE superstar before they get into the WWE. So let's go check out this TNA show.
So do you think that Tony Khan will move to work with a company like that, or is his thing with ROH already considered that?
No, I don't. Okay, well, see, this is the problem. Is Tony Khan thinks he is WWE, or you know, he thinks they're on the same level. So I feel like he wouldn't. I can only see him working down and not up. Does that make sense? Like, but I think, I don't know. You can never burn a bridge. I mean, we talk about this all the time. We've talked about this like on our level. We've talked about this with, I mean, God, all the way up to the Warrior and Vince McMahon. Like, you cannot burn a bridge. You cannot do anything in this industry and not at some point loop back around. So who knows? I mean, it would be nice if it didn't feel like the WWE was just trying to swallow up everything. And I feel like under Vince, it felt like that what they wanted to do was put everybody out of business.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what I'm saying. They did.
Clear.
And that's what he wanted to do. I don't see that as much with this regime, but you know, hopefully, you know, it continues to be like this. I mean, the more wrestling there is, the better for the business.
Right.
Better for the fans, better for the business, better for the pay, better for the, you know, all this stuff. You know, so I would love to see that happen, that the forbidden door. kind of get knocked
It's
down.
the worst pay-per-view name ever. I'm
It
sorry.
is.
Because
It
yeah,
is
we all
terrible.
know what you think when you hear that. You know.
I just, because like, it's just, I don't know. And just like I said, I won't repeat myself because I do that a lot. You know, it's just better. It's better for wrestling to have all this wrestling going on.
Yeah, but TKO has some kind of connection to TNA, right? Don't they like distribute their television or something?
I think so, yeah.
I was looking online and I can't find anything fast enough, like a Google search that will tell me the association with it that wouldn't
I
distract from
think
the program.
TKO has something to do with TNA's distribution.
Well, think about other
Something
sports.
media.
Let's think about other
All right, so
sports.
TNA teams with Endeavor for new streaming service.
Okay.
That was in December of last year.
Yeah. Okay.
The
So
streaming
that's what it was.
subsidiary of WWE and UF, well, team with Anthem owned promotion TNA to do a streaming thing, but I can't see if it actually ever happened.
Think about other sports though, like wrestling fans. Like, work with me on this. Baseball. All right, it starts in little leagues, right, and goes through high school and college, and then the minor leagues, and then the majors. They have a feeder system. NFL, same thing. Starts with flag football, punt, pass, and kick, JV, high school, college, then the NFL feeder system, and you weed out the non-hackers and get the elite, the best of the best of the best of the best to play in your top league. Basketball, similar. Yeah, even auto racing is similar. IndyCar has the IndyCar Next series. NASCAR has multiple, feeder, tons of feeder tracks all over the country for new talent, and series. You don't start in the Cup Series. You start in trucks and work your way to Xfinity and then the Cup. So that I think it's the great thing for WWE to build a good, strong feeder system. I mean, and it's better for everybody.
Maybe TKO is pushing WWE to be more like a UFC in the aspect that a lot of young talent from UFC comes out of these smaller groups. I mean, you know what I'm saying? UFC will pick up somebody who's doing real good on a not so national level, and they'll put them on, the opening card of on a opening match of a pay-per-view or something. So maybe that's what WWE is going to do, is start working with more little companies, and because they can harvest the talent from those companies, from the TNAs and the smaller indie groups, and that just opens up for somebody to come up from an even lower level.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, I
think let it rise to the top.
Yeah, I mean, with so many indie promotions out there now, it's not like it was in '92 when this organization got started. There was indie promotions, but Lord, not near as many as it is now. Everybody and their brother thinks they can be a wrestler, but if you watch the WWE, that's not true. But a good feeder system. I mean, what if you started seeing territories again, more of an indie level, I don't know, in different parts of the country, and they weren't, like you get to the top of the big territory promotion in your area, and then the next step is TNA, and then NXT, and then WWE. I mean, who knows what the future holds? Looking pretty good for the wrestling business, though.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean,
it's niche, but they're leaning into it and trying to make it the best as possible that they can, and still keep the general public interested with shit like Logan Paul, who was doing great, by the way.
Yeah.
God, that match with Cody he had the other day was just fantastic. Have you guys seen King of the Ring yet?
We have not.
All right, King and Queen of the
busy.
Ring. I will tell you all about it after we hear this from our great sponsors. Let's see. You guys, let me make sure you can actually see the ad before I start reading.
Yes.
Good. From current slide. Let me see if I can't make this thing full screen. All right. Premier Auto Detailing is our latest and greatest sponsor. We got a new sponsor coming on board. out of the Lynchburg area. We just got to get the commercial put together, and I have got information piecemeal together from different sources, and I'm going to get it all together. And but we're going to welcome them. But Premier Auto Detailing has been with us a little while now. They can handle any type of commercial or residential job as it comes to a general car wash or detailing. They serve the Mount Airy, Surry County area of North Carolina. We say hands down, they're the best car cleaning service in town. Give them a call at 336-883-5722 for more information. That's 336-883-5722 for more info. Again, Premier Auto Detailing. They can get that old jalopy looking showroom new for you. Just give them a call. Once again, that number 336-883-5722, and be sure to tell them that AIWF Ringside Wrestling sent you. Tees, Creations, Custom Apparel. They do all kinds of stuff. They do t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tumblers, front license plates for those of you who live in North Carolina. All different kinds of t-shirts designed. They're really into the customization stuff. They handle stuff for the AIWF Mid Atlantic. So if you're one of the wrestlers on the card and you've got an idea of what to put on a t-shirt, but you don't know where to get started to get you some merch going, it's right under your nose, my friends. Tees Creations. You can visit them at teescreations22.com. Tees Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook and TikTok. Tees Creations. I mean, come on, guys. How many independent shows do you wrestle on that's got a t-shirt factory attached to it? As one of their sponsors, man. It's pretty cool. You don't have to go through Pro Wrestling Tees in Chicago. They do a fine job, but you can keep it closer to home and have more control with Tees Creations. Again, visit them at teescreations22.com. They're at Tees Creations by Allied Apparel on Facebook. They have just a jam and TikTok, Tees Creations, and they're also on Shopify. So check them out. They are everywhere. I really encourage you to go look at that TikTok, man. And it's so loud and so fast, that, might almost cause you to have a seizure. It's really a good TikTok, though. Whoever runs that really knows what they're doing. And if you'd like to get in on the action here on AIWF Ringside Wrestling, that's $10 a month. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. And we're working on expanding the commercial reach to the AIWF network. So you're not only going to get reads here, but you probably get them. We can probably work out a deal where you get your commercial placed on the network, more videos. So we're looking to add even more value to this. But I'm telling you, $10 a month. And if we take a week off, not your problem. You get 4 reads for $10. So, hey, I challenge you to find anywhere else you can advertise cheaper in independent wrestling. So that's that. Let's see here. So we had King and Queen of the Ring over the weekend. There was that match between Bailey and Liv Morgan. Just looked awkward to me. I don't know if it was because it was in Saudi Arabia and their gear had to be customized for that. Although Becky's outfit was quite nice. She looked like a little Irish schoolboy. It was fun.
I saw Maxine. Is it Maxine Dupree?
Yeah.
Is that her name? Her outfit was fantastic. Also,
I don't remember her. Oh yeah, she came out to ringside during that show.
She's wearing gold, and she might as well not even been wearing anything. I mean, it was
even risque for Saudi Arabia, or are you talking about?
It was very. It was. I mean, it's very tight.
Yeah.
She looked really good in it. So,
well, she was a model before she got into wrestling. Yeah. So, but
what do you think? You mentioned Becky Lynch, and I hate to veer off, but like I said, I'm gonna have to jump off here in a couple minutes. But I want your opinion on the Becky Lynch contract thing, Matt.
What about it? Is it up soon?
Yes.
Yeah, they're talking about she may be done.
That's up to her, man. If she wants to go, is she planning on going home and raising a kid, or is she?
I don't know. That's just all speculation now. But the thing is, I mean, the WWE is the one who published that book, right? Or helped her publish it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm thinking if anything changes, I bet they go part-time to raise their kid.
They might. I mean, Seth's banged up right now, really bad. I mean, so it's gonna probably be SummerSlam before we see him again, if that. But hey, I mean, Becky took time off during the pandemic to have the kid. So she definitely strikes me as the type of gal that has saved her money and has what Cornette calls fuck you money, where you can look at people and be like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, I mean, she might be done. I think
Well, the rumor
I'd like to
mill's
see her
already
get-
started.
yeah,
You know,
I'd
will
love
she
to see
go
her-
to AEW?
no.
There's no way. I mean,
She's
she
seen what
is-
happens to people that go to AEW. I mean,
well, and she's too damn good for AEW. And I have said before, I like some of the women wrestlers in AEW. I have some there that are some of my favorite. But she's just, I mean, I don't know. I can't see her going in her prime to someplace like that. And, you know, she is a little, I mean, not older, but, you know, she's been around a while, but she still can hang and stuff. And I don't know. I would hate for her to go there and be squashed like every other WWE woman that went there.
I don't envision Becky going. I'd like to see her try to squeeze one more run out of it. You know, I don't want her to get so banged up that she can't run after her kids. And I know that's what she's thinking about. You know, how many years can I keep taking these bumps before it, you know, 10 years from now, what am I going to feel like? 20 years from now, what am I going to feel like? And my kid's going to be how old? She's got to calculate all that. I'm a greedy fan. I've always liked Becky since she was in NXT. Although at first, you know, when she first came out there, I thought she was kind of dull, but they fixed it. You know, I mean, so good luck to her. I hope she, but
know,
me
and-
personally, I hope she does another run.
I mean, you know, it's historically, you see how poorly families, how tough it was on families. I mean, think of all the families throughout the 70s and 80s who, you know, like like wrestling broke the family up. So it would be nice to now that people are saving their money so they can make a decision to step away for a little bit, you know, and take care of their family.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I thought that match was all right. Liv Morgan won the title. She successfully defended it on Raw. So congratulations to her. I think Liv has kind of been in the shadows. When she first came out, she was like a Carmella wannabe. She was the exact same thing, you know, Jersey girl with the hat turned around backwards and everything, but they have shifted her and retooled her to the point that she's finally found her own thing, man. I think she's doing real good. So keep pushing for the sky, Liv. You know, you're real easy to hate. I will say that. Very easy to hate. And I like you better that way. So let's see. Gunther won the King of the Ring. I thought that was great. He and Randy Orton had a hell of a match. If you have not seen it, go out of your way to see it. It was a clinic. You couldn't ask for a better match. Bad call by Dan Engler. He did not see Randy Orton's shoulder come up off the ground, but Triple H has already squashed that. He said the referee's decision is final. And in Engler's defense, he was staring at the right shoulder. I mean, he was deadlocked on the right shoulder. He just didn't look back. And
I know,
and
I
was
like we
just
said
thinking,
before, it should be referee's discretion.
yeah. And I was sitting there watching the match, and sometimes, you know, I'll watch the referees because I'm always interested in what they're doing. And sometimes I get really frustrated with them on our level. And I was just thinking, boy, at Dan Engler, he's been around a long time. What a great referee he is. And then he just blew that call. And I'm just like, God, man, I can't say anything nice about anybody. But you know,
You curse them.
yeah. And then Nia Jax won the Queen of the Ring, which infuriated my wife.
But you know what?
She actually
sorry, go ahead.
stormed outside after the match ended and was like, "Refrigerator won the match," like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I've kind of figured that. But Nia did something very unusual. She got down on one knee and let Triple H put the crown on her head, which I thought was kind of an act of humility. But they're saying they're going to have a coronation ceremony on Friday on SmackDown. So that's not humility at all. I mean,
No.
so and these coronation ceremonies. Oh, do you remember like King Mabel and some of the more obnoxious ones over the years?
Haiku was his obnoxious.
It was, but it wasn't too bad. But they've gotten worse over the years. Every time a bad guy wins it. Triple H didn't get to have one because China had smashed his scepter on Mankind's head. And then Triple H used the crown to beat on him some more and ended up crushing it. But the crowns they had this year looked like they were made by a jeweler. I mean, they look like real metal, like a wrestling trophy. You know what I mean? And Gunther wouldn't even put the crown on his head. Of course, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would put a crown on his head anyway, you know. And he just carry it, but they are beautiful. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but yeah, the trophies this year were just fantastic. And then of course Cody Rhodes took on Logan Paul. That was fantastic. Great match too. Go out of your way to check it out. And I'm missing something.
I might check that one out.
I think I'm missing. Am I missing a tag team match? I'm missing a match on the card because there was 5 and I'm only discussed 4. But maybe
I don't know. I've been watching Nitro from the beginning, so I don't know. I don't know what the 5th one is.
All right, there, fans, you heard it here. Reagan had told us weeks ago she was going to try to start watching AEW, and that lasted all of about 2 weeks before she gave up. So I give credit to you for trying, Reagan. I did it too. I tried for a year. I did it too. I get where you're coming from. I don't blame you.
Well, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what to say. Brian would watch it if I'd turn it on, but I'm a remote hog, so I put on Nitro from '95, and I'm gonna try to watch 5 years all the way through. But
I'd stop it. I'd stop it.
98.
By the time the NWO shows up, I'd stop. But
I said that's when I was watching though, so I kind of want to see it through my lens now versus then.
A lot of that stuff was good. I mean, it was good at the time. We enjoyed it. We were gabbing about it all the time back then. So I turned on them in '97 at the uncensored event when the NWO won all the belts. I was like, well, what the fuck is the point of this? Nobody can beat these guys. You know, I'm going over to the WWF where I don't know what's going to happen. You know,
the damn faces can't catch a break. That was some commentary this week.
Yeah.
The damn heel, baby, damn faces can't get a break. Can't catch a break.
All right, guys, I got to run.
All right.
I'll try to stay longer Sunday if I can. I don't know. It all depends on what all I got going on, because this that time of year when I'm just wide open all the time. So
yep, absolutely. We understand, Rick Diesel. Take care. Have a good night, sir.
Thanks, guys. See y'all.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always been somebody who pulled for the underdog. And if there was a wrestler or a team that just won all the time, when you just knew as soon as they announced the match, well, I know who's going to win. I know it's going to be this person. They always win. I turn on that. I don't like those. Most of the time, I'm just like, I turn on them. I'm just like, I don't want to watch them wrestle because I know they're going to win. And maybe that's the wrong attitude to have, but I like to not know. I like to see a good contest between two people who I don't know who's going to win. And if I already know who's going to win, I'm just like, this is boring.
Yeah. It's come up a time or two. There's a old Bobby Heenan shoot interview that's resurfaced that he did back in 2002 with, I think, RF Video maybe, or High Spots, one of those, the people that were doing all those shoot interviews back then.
Yeah.
Right.
And he talks about that when they beat Goldberg at Starrcade 98, it killed him. And looking back on it, it did play a big part in that, because a few weeks later was the finger poke of doom simultaneously with the night Tony Schiavone told everybody Mankind was going to win the world championship, right? So it ended up being true. But I remember that night at Starrcade, like Goldberg, he always was on that streak. And like, I can remember being kind of sick of it, but he had that good match with DDP at Halloween Havoc. I think that was 98, right? He had that good. Remember where WCW, like in some markets, in some television markets, the pay-per-view got cut off and fans didn't get to see the end of
I
the
do
match.
remember that. Yes.
Yeah,
You
and they had to show it on Nitro on free TV. They had to give away their pay-per-view main event. Fortunately, in the Martinsville, Virginia television market, that did not happen. We got to see it to the end. But then when he lost the title at Starrcade, the crowd in the building in Washington was going crazy. Do you remember that? How they were cheering? You know, if you don't believe me, go back and look at the video. Those kids. So anybody want to say that Kevin Nash booking that was self-centered and stupid and people hated it? Nuh-uh. That's revisionist history. You listen to that crowd, those people were loving that shit. So, you know, I know it ended up not working out for him in the end, but hey, you know, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is like that I didn't like that. But you know, that's speaking of like, you know, wrestling being better because of something, you know, I really think just going back and watching what I'm watching now and watching Bischoff ruin like the endings of things on Raw. It's like if he had not started that, like the wrestling landscape would probably be 100% different. Like, you know, because he just kept ruining. He's like, you know, the Smoking Guns, whatever that thing was called, they won and it was born anyway. And Mongo's like, yeah, that's the Kitty Cat organization. And
yeah, the Raw Bowl, which interestingly enough, that night, I have remembered this. When he said that, I switched the channel because I wanted to see it. And Earl Hebner was dressed up as an NFL referee and was throwing flags for DQs, and there was all these weird rules. And I sat there and watched Raw. So
that was
the big one was Shivani running off the viewers in 99, but I can remember flipping over to the other channel and being like, look at Earl Hebner. This is cool. And just sitting there and watching it. You know, yeah, was it a good match? No. I mean, it was nothing special, but it was different.
you know, and I just, you know, I just want wrestling to exist. Like, I just want it to be the best it can possibly be. And I feel like we're getting in a good spot for that. I still think there's some stuff that people need to, you know, hammer out. I was, you know, speaking of AEW, I was reading that Tony Khan's not very happy with what he's negotiating with Warner's Brothers right now. That
why should they give him more money? He's losing.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's really hedging his bets on being their number one draw, and I don't know that that's possible. I mean, he's going to have to do some huge. I don't know.
Because Turner Sports is losing the NBA next year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that seems to be what's going to happen. They're going to go back to NBC is what the rumor is. I don't know. We'll see. But Turner Sports is picking up NASCAR for 6 races again starting next year.
I didn't know that.
But I didn't. Well, no, it's combined between them and Amazon Prime, I think. Prime's going to do a couple of races, and then TNT is going to have them. And that was the old setup from the late 2000s until they did this latest TV deal. Was Fox did the first part, TNT did the middle during the summer stretch, and then ESPN took them home. But after they renegotiated this time, it was just Fox and NBC. So this new deal will be Fox, Amazon, TNT, NBC.
I do know that, you know, they had their pay-per-view this past weekend, AEW.
Yeah, and it went over 4 hours, they said.
Was it really? I did see, I don't know if this is, I only read a blurb. I did not see, but I read that Edge said that he broke his leg doing his spot off the top of the cage. I mean, and it's just, I'm not going to say I don't want to say dangerous, because that's not what I mean. What am I trying to say? Like,
well, I mean, off the top of the cage for somebody who is 20 years younger than Edge is fine. But I mean, his age should not be coming. I mean, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be performing anymore, because he can't. I mean, he's still physically able to wrestle, but leave the jumping off of the cage for the younger guys.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They said
But they
somebody
brought
on
Gangrel
fire.
back. Did y'all hear about
Who?
that? Gangrel showed up in that
I
match.
did. That was, and you know what's funny is I had read that Adam Copeland had been trying to bring him in for that last run he had, and that Triple H kept saying no because nobody gives a crap about Gangrel. And from what I've read, people cared. People enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, they popped. I mean,
Yeah.
you could hear, there was some fan cam footage that got out there on Twitter before I guess they've taken it down by now. But yeah, when he came up through the ring, man, the place, it took him a couple of seconds for it to register who it was. But as soon as he spit that blood in the air, kapow, off comes the roof of the building. So,
Mhm.
and there weren't that many people there, but I mean, they did it in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, and I think the guy said it was about a little less than the guy on Eric Bischoff's podcast that was there said it was a little less than 3/4 full. So that's not bad. That's better than what they're drawing for their regular TV.
I was gonna say that's not bad for them. I mean,
No.
but like, I know they set some on fire. Jack, or I don't know. I just saw.
Oh, they had a flamethrower.
Picture.
Darby Allin had a flamethrower.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Like I said, I've been with our anniversary and work. It's been busy for stuff. So
I just, they've gotten away with the flamethrower twice. My understanding, Darby Allin used it on Dynamite, and they used it on the pay-per-view. And fire codes are really strictly monitored. I mean, you guys have seen at the fair, at the Surry County Fair, the fire inspector comes out there and just goes over the fairgrounds with a fine tooth comb.
You got your railing two centimeters over in front of the door. You got to move it.
Yeah, I mean, they don't mess around. And open flames inside crowded buildings make me nervous.
Yeah.
And I do not think, I hope they don't ever use a flamethrower again, but they've brought it in now. And what they all saying, well, the horse is out of the barn. Darby's going to want to try to do something else with it. Well, let me set the ring apron on fire, Tony. Wouldn't it be cool to set the top of the post on fire? Or I don't know. It's just, I feel like this is going to end badly.
I don't like I understand like fireballs and breathing fire, like those types of things. But this is a piece of machinery that blows out fire.
Yeah, that people use to clear fields with.
Huh? Yeah.
People use to
This
clear
sounds
fields
like an F around and find out eventually type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, I don't know. That just seems like something, if you're not, I mean, I would hope to God somebody has trained him on how to use it. Like, I hope he's not just picking it up and flip. I don't even know how they work.
He was going to go climb Mount Everest with no experience.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gone through the proper training programs for flamethrower use.
Because flame is so, I mean, even that time Chris Tenney got you and it just went up your body just like this and just burn off part of your beard and your front of your hair and stuff. Like, that was just him spitting fire.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And maybe it's because I'm getting old. I don't know.
No, flamethrower is ridiculous.
Thank you for saying it, Brian.
I haven't seen the spot myself, but
I haven't either.
Just to use it, just that, because my whole thing is I don't like the use of deadly weapons in wrestling, because one, it's dangerous, and two, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's, if you take a baseball bat and hit somebody in the head with it, that's it. They're dead.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get a baseball bat in a ring and hit somebody with it, and then they're there next week having a match with you. No, wherever you hit them, you have broken the bones of wherever you hit them with that bat, and they're in the hospital for 6 weeks.
Yeah, they need to take a look at Goodfellas, see what happens when you actually get hit with a bat.
Right. Oh, yeah, or Casino.
Is it Casino?
The cornfield bat beating is at the end of Casino.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other thing that I don't like about it, and y'all might agree, it makes it very cartoonish. It's like Wile E.
It's like Wile E. Coyote.
with his
Mhm.
flamethrower,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, and it's just,
Yeah, get an Acme bomb
mhm.
with the little the black bomb with the fuse coming out of it while
And
you're at.
if something bad happens, it's going to hurt the whole industry because the
Mhm.
newspaper headlines are not going to say fans die at AEW show in fire. They're going to say fans die at wrestling show in fire. You
Because
know,
think about, I mean, the one thing I think about when I think about fire, it's not wrestling, it's that white line,
Great white.
great white concert where they had that fire pyro and they didn't have it, like, it wasn't legal, it wasn't done right. Nobody, and if you watch that video, that's scary as hell because you just
Mhm.
watch that fire go up the wall and then straight across the ceiling. And I know that this isn't a little bitty club that's all made out of wood, but like, you just you just have to be smart with stuff like that. And yes, is it cool? No, it's not. But you could say, is it cool? And some people go, yeah, that's pretty cool. But it's not. It's dangerous. And it's
Yeah.
dangerous for sake of being dangerous.
Yep. And it's different than when you throw a fireball because I'm not going to give away with how it's done because I don't want any little kids, going getting the materials and trying it on their buddies on the playground.
Mhm.
But you're in complete control of that. You're in complete control of when it lights, when it ignites, and where it goes. For the most part, it can get away, but still,
Right, but
just a
that
little.
and once it's burned up, that's it.
Yeah.
Just like when somebody breathes fire, once the whatever liquid they're spraying out of their mouth, once that is gone, then the fire is out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different if you have a flamethrower with a thing on the back that is fueling the fire. That I mean, that's where it gets too dangerous.
I mean, you have to be careful with your accelerants. I mean, we've seen that in the past that, when you put down too much fluid and it just bursts up, and that's
Mhm.
just lighter fluid.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
not whatever the hell fuel flamethrower takes.
I'm not sure what kind of fuel a flamethrower takes, and I've never been on a farm long enough to have to use the flamethrower that needed out in the field. So maybe somebody at home can Google it or put it in the comments below. Let me go ahead and read our second set of ads, and then we'll see about getting out of here. Yes, our friends at Branch Management are in full swing right now. Lawn care service got it going on. They got potted plants for sale, though. Rick Diesel told us a few weeks ago they were almost out of potted plants. So definitely, if you want potted plants, they may have gotten a new batch in for summertime. I'm not sure. I don't know much about agriculture, but if you want to get some hanging baskets and stuff like that, you need to reach out to Branch Management. Or if you didn't need any work done around the house whatsoever, please reach out to them. They'll be glad to help you out. They offer pressure washing, general contracting, and gutter cleaning. And the best part is free estimates. Give them a call at 336 648 2487 for a free estimate. They'll come out and take a look at what you need done. If you need any rock work, landscaping, stuff like that, they'll be glad to help you with all that. If you just need the grass cut, they'll be glad to help you with that. 336 648 2487. That is Branch Management. And also, don't forget us on social. If you're watching on YouTube, a like, subscribe, and ring a bell be a big help. We got 2 YouTube channels. Check them both out, AIWF Network and AIWF Ringside Wrestling. You can send correspondence to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com, AIWF20@hotmail.com. Yes, that is a Hotmail address. It is an original. It has been around since the mid 90s. So, and it still works. So send your hate mail there. T's Treats is a locally owned food truck based in Mount Airy. Great pizza, delicious dog, decadent desserts, mini donuts, milkshakes. Oh man, Reagan likes the chicken tenders. And they even got frozen bandanas now. If you're a David Copperfield fan, you got that joke. Ask for our famous chocolate frozen bananas, plain rainbow sprinkles and peanuts. Great way to cool off that hot temper on a warm summer's day. Beat the heat with T's Treats. You can call them at 336-755-8204 for their availability and schedule. and 336-755-8204. Great value for your money. Real good with the sweet stuff. I like the hot dogs and a hot dog chili personally. But it's all good at T's Treats. Yeah. So like Andy Griffith used to say at the end of those food spots, it's good. I appreciate it and good night. So yeah, Andy Griffith could sell a damn bowl of cereal, boy. I tell you what, or some decaffeinated coffee. You know, I have got a DVD with a bunch of old commercial spots with him after the Andy Griffith show went off. Boy,
Have you ever seen Face in the Crowd? A
yes,
movie.
Great movie.
Good Lord. Now he sells the hell out of that. What is it? What is it? Vitajex.
Yeah.
Vitajex, I think.
Yeah. That's a great Walter Matthau's character in that movie is my favorite. He's like the conscience of the whole thing. Just kind of stand back
if you want to see how good of an actor Andy Griffith is, that's one you should watch. That one, and you should watch Daddy and Them, which is one when he was older with Billy Bob Thornton.
Is that the one where he plays the bad guy, like a real evil?
Yeah, he's an awful grandpa. It's got Jim Varney in it as a not Ernest, as a serious character.
Yeah,
and it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, Andy could play a heel real easy. He's real, and I know from people that met him in real life that was not too far from his personality. He said on record many times he wished he was half the man that Andy Taylor was, you know. And yeah, all I know is if you were down around Roanoke Island or whatever, when he was still with us, better not try to seek him out, because if the locals found out that you were down there trying to find him, they would give you a hard time, because he was very private in his later years. So anyway, I was trying to think if I had anything else, I'd seen on wrestling social media. We found the clip of the independent show that made us all laugh a year ago. Of the guy falling on his head, and we all know him. He's always been a nice guy to me, but that was just dumb. Getting into a ring with no experience whatsoever, almost broke his neck. I'm glad he didn't, because he's got a family, you know. But that got circulated around, and then we saw another thing. Reagan, you sent me a clip of a guy. I would encourage you guys to go look up Scott Nash Wrestler on YouTube.
Did you seen it?
No, I haven't.
I've got it. I sent it to Matt, so I'll show it.
It's hilarious. It was before HD, so it had to be in the early 2000s, or late 90s even. It would be worse if it was in the late 90s, because it would be a direct ripoff during his
height, because he wears the same gear.
Yeah, except the letters are lowercase.
Lowercase Nash.
Yeah. Well, we had a guy come through AIWF one time about, I want to say 06, 07. We were at the Armory, and he came in, and he was dressed in a suit, and he had his hair styled just like Triple H when he would wear it long in the back with the ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
And he started telling people in the locker room that his last name was Levesque, and which immediately sent everybody's radars up, you know. And when he came out to the ring, he was wearing the black tights like Triple H wore like 96, 97, and when he was doing the Greenwich snob thing, you know. And he wasn't that good, but as soon as he came out, the fans in Mount Airy got on his case. Triple H, and they chanted it the whole match. And he was just telling all these cockamamie stories, like, you know, his last name was Levesque, and they were like, "Oh, you didn't kin to Triple H? Oh, yeah, we're like third cousins or whatever."
And third cousins. That's you know what though? At least he's being reasonable.
Yeah, but you know, it was just you knew it was bullshit. It's just like remember when that guy came around? I know Major Havoc was close with him. And a lot of people were, but his gimmick was basically trying to fool people into thinking he was Blackjack Mulligan.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Dick. Yes.
I'm not going to say his name.
No.
Texas Outlaw.
Yeah, Texas Outlaw. Yeah. I'm not going to say his shoot name on this program, because he's not with us anymore and can't defend himself. But, you know, he used to tell us stuff like, Yeah, I was working Jimmy Valiant in Greensboro one night, and I remember thinking, where a used tire lot or some shit. You sure wasn't in Greensboro, but he would tell us that he was in the Greensboro Coliseum working Jimmy Valiant.
Mhm.
And I was just like, that don't line. It didn't line. And now that I know even the history of Mid Atlantic more, that don't work out. The timeline don't work out. Blackjack Mulligan and Jimmy Valiant were not in Mid Atlantic at the same time. They weren't.
No. I think, and I would have to get Chuck King on this. I believe at one point, Chuck King did a big sexy gimmick before he came with us. Now, I might be remembering because I believe I told him I thought he looked like Kevin Nash. He said something about maybe working once or twice, like big set, but that's something he would have to tell because this is a very hazy memory, and it could be wrong. But if he's out there, I would love to hear if that's a correct memory. So,
I remember Chuck King for two things. If you were loading a ring truck and he was driving it, you didn't put anything down until he had approved where it was supposed to be loaded. That truck had to be loaded exactly right. And number two, his first tag team partner that came through, and I know the guy's had health problems and he might not even be with us anymore, but that guy was a dick. And he was a dick to me, and he was just an asshole in every sense of the word. Got along with Chuck great, always. Thought, special place in my heart. Love Chuck King to death.
Oh,
but
yeah.
His first partner that he came in with, man, like, nope, didn't like him. And I never did anything to that motherfucker. I didn't sleep with his girlfriend. I didn't even say a bad word to him. He just, for some reason, hated my guts, and the feeling was mutual after a few weeks. But that's the two things I remember about Chuck King. I interrupted you, Brian. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just going to say that sometimes wrestlers don't really have a choice. Sometimes you go into a locker room and the promoter says, "You look like this guy. Your last name is this," and it's like, well, it's either this or I don't wrestle.
Yeah.
So I guess my last name is this tonight.
How did you, because you wore a Danzig shirt all the time?
Yes. Yeah, I wore a Danzig shirt to training, and they'd be like, "Okay, Danzig, you lock up with him," and it just stuck. Yeah, that was then my last name.
I
And
mean,
thank God somebody. Oh, go ahead.
You were a fan of the band anyway, so I mean.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I actually I wanted to be called Sam Hain because I was but yeah, I guess they didn't like that and just Brian Danzig was on the poster. My first match, I was like, okay, I guess my name's Brian Danzig.
I'm glad somebody stepped in for my name because I don't remember if it was Don or Rick or who, but I think I wanted it to be Tony Heel. And they're like, no.
Better that than Juicy Fruit Johnson or some shit like that. That'd be a terrible name for a ladies wrestler.
I know, terrible. And then so it became, they rhymed it with my name. I don't know if that was any better, rhyming Pagan with Reagan, but
I thought it would seem like it was not, I thought very quickly not thought out very long. No, that don't work. Go with Pagan.
Yes.
That's the way it always seemed to me. I was like, boy, that's not really far off at all. It's like that's what I always thought. I thought it fit you though. It worked out well. I mean, it worked out well. But yeah. Good old memory. Now we're getting the old people in us is showing out because we're starting to reminisce. And don't be fooled, everybody. I think everybody in this room would agree that our favorite wrestling match is our next one. So we try not to live in the past, but it is fun talking about funny shit that happened.
It is, but it's a different world. It's I mean, hell, it's better now. So you can come to a wrestling show now and be entertained from bell to bell, whereas maybe in the past you were entertained after intermission. So
oh yeah, I mean, first three matches at Average Crockett promotion card. Let's see. Okay, up first we got Sam Houston against Barbarian, no. Let's see here. Rocky King against Gladiator #1, no. Let's see what else we got on the poster here. Oh, Jimmy Valiant versus Tully Blanchard. World television title, $10,000 on the line. Now that's interesting. Now look, son, see how the print on the poster gets a little bigger right there? So that means those first 3 matches, you want to go get a hot dog or popcorn or something, you go right ahead. But then once they get into the big letter matches, and as you move up, you're gonna want to stay in your seat. And it was true, you know. And
Yeah.
so, and that was house shows. That was not even TV. Wrestling is so much better now than it was when I was a kid because it was
Oh,
all
yeah.
squash matches, and the only reason you watched was the interviews or to see if some kind of angle happened, you know, and it would usually happen out of nowhere. Now the matches are competitive for the most part, unless you're Braun Breaker's opponent. But because he killed a job guy last week. Just absolutely killed him. And,
Yeah, that's fun every once in a while, but when it's every week, it just it gets a little old.
But see, Braun Breaker is like they kept him in. I thought they kept him in NXT too long at first when they didn't send him up last year after WrestleMania. But no, they did the right thing. They knew exactly how much to season that steak before they sent him to the main roster because he's on fire, man. The first thing that Adam Pearce did when he came to the main roster was not let him compete in the King of the Ring tournament. And so now Braun Breaker has just snapped. And like you can see his old man in him. I mean, he barks like his old man because everybody knows he's Rick Steiner's son.
Yeah.
But and like he came in the ring Monday night on Raw and just beat the hell out of everybody. And people were booing because the match got thrown out for a DQ. But as soon as he started barking, they're into it. And they're like wanting to like, kill him, bro, kill him, you know. And so yeah, it's good right now. It's good. So you kids feel fortunate that you got this good wrestling now. At least on one of the channels. Are you guys going to subscribe? Are you guys already Netflix subscribers?
We are.
So Raw's going to be moving to Netflix. I'm probably going to subscribe to Netflix just so I don't have to miss Raw. I wonder if things are going to get more edgy with Raw as it moves to Netflix, or are they going to want to keep it about like it is now?
Well, I wonder though if they want it to appeal to the Netflix customer, if they want to get it a little more risque. I mean, you're gonna have to top Bridgerton.
Well, I mean, they have kids shows on Netflix too, though, right? I mean, couldn't
Yeah.
you still
Yeah.
run it as a family show? Because I mean, I have a feeling if you watch it live, you're going to still have to watch commercials, even if you're like a premium, or maybe they do it like
I don't know
Peacock.
how that's gonna work because like I pay for the premium Peacock,
I do too.
so like I know that's not where Raw is or anything. But it would be nice though because sometimes I like to watch Raw, but it's on Hulu, it has all these commercials, it's edited down. It would be nice if there was some place I could go and watch the whole thing.
DVR or Spectrum app, and you can set your DVR from the Spectrum app now. I found out. It's a lot. It's a lot of wrestling to watch.
It's a lot of like our DVR because of my mother. It's just pop full of just stupid stuff being recorded all the time that I can't even get a hold of to get off. So that's neither here nor there.
But I wouldn't think that they would change the product that much because I don't think they're going to want to have like, this is our adult show, Raw. This is our PG-13 show. And then on this channel, we're going to show our PG product. I think they're going to probably keep everything about the same. They might could push the envelope a little bit more, but I think a lot of the censoring is just going to be self-done from the WWE of not wanting to alienate, wanting to keep it a family entertainment that people can bring their kids to.
I'm interested. It's gonna be live, right? So I'm interested in Netflix running something live, like the logistics and stuff of that. I want to see how well it is in the beginning. Like
I know there are comedy specials live before.
Oh, do they? So we don't hardly. I have the lowest tier of Netflix because my children watch stuff every once in a while. And then my mother watches, I don't know, something on it. So I don't know if I've actually watched Netflix in a very long time.
Yeah, Netflix has gotten smartened up to the fact that my wife and I use our her sister's account out in Arizona, and you know, when you try to pull it up on, I can watch it on my phone. I'm telling on myself now, if they block it, I don't care. I'm gonna subscribe when y'all get Raw anyway, so loosen up. I can watch it on my phone, but if I try to pull it up through the Roku device, no. So Netflix is smartened up about that. But so SmackDown moves to USA, and then NXT is going to move to the CW. And there is a rumor going around that they're going to move out of the Performance Center for NXT and back to Full Sail University, which was a bigger arena, right? Still a small building, you know, but way bigger than what they're in now. I think it'll probably seat twice as many. I mean, right now it looks like they seat 150, maybe if that. But the building in Full Sail where they were at when the network first launched in 2014, I thought that place was great. It was dark. It looked like a territory building from back in the day. You know, I really liked it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Good things to come. Anyway, we want to see you Saturday night at Veterans Park in Mount Airy for extreme content. It's going to be wild. That always is every year. The show, I look forward to it. You know, Deal with Steel might be our biggest show of the year, and yes, Heath Slater is going to be on that show. But I can
Formerly known as.
Yeah. Let me get that legality in there. I don't want to get a cease and desist from WWE. Although, if I did, I'd just frame it and put
Would
it on
you
the wall.
frame it?
Yeah. I'd show it here first. Like, I'd probably bring it to wrestling and let everybody look at it. You know, look at this. We got in trouble. I wouldn't let him sue me though. So, but yeah, formerly known as Heath Slater, he's coming to Deal with the Steel. It's the biggest show, but this is really, like, to me, the wildest show. This and Fright Night are right up here with me.
These are like our like the meat and potatoes of AIWF. Like this is the ones. This one and like you said, you know, they're kind of what we used to embody, and it's nice to have a night where you can see that that we were well known for, but have smartly moved away from for every single show.
For everybody's health and well-being. But if you want to take a trip, see your modern favorites, if they'd have been wrestling with the AIWF in 97 or 98, extreme content is for you, because there's one night, and I know WWE says it for Extreme Rules. I don't even know if they have that show anymore, but nah, it's going to be gimmicked up good, buddy. Watch out. You're not going to see no wrist locks and headlocks and, you know, side headlock takeovers and drop toe holds and shit. It's just going to kind of be a brawl, but one that it's okay to bring the kids to. You're not going to see anybody, like, you know, run through an outboard motor or anything crazy like that. So, I mean, it's going to be wild, but you still enjoy it. It's still wrestling.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts from you guys? That's all I got. We need to get out of here, I guess.
Be there, be square, be there, be square.
Yeah. And if you've made it this far on YouTube, which I doubt you have, like, subscribe, and ring the bell, please. I think I need to put like a sticky note on the monitor, so I say that at the beginning. But anyway, thank you for all my ride or dies. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed Greg, Anthony, and Ty Tyson on the Ringside Wrestling channel. The number of views far exceeded my expectations by about 10, 12 times. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed that match. We got one coming for you on Friday. Clara Carter defends the World Championship against the Great Sasaki, which we all know was an excellent match.
It was an excellent match.
Yes.
Be looking for that Friday morning, 10 a.m. right here on the Ringside Wrestling channel. AIWF Network has new programming every night at 7 p.m. or at least during the week. And we'll see you at Extreme Content this Saturday night at Veterans Park in Mount Airy. So for Brian and Reagan Danzig, I am Mad Carter. Until next time, so long for now.